What is up, guys? It is TK Whopper, and doing another tutoring. This time we're watching rcyzhang12345. He is playing Lux in the mid lane, and this is Bronze 3. It's normals, but it's gonna be the same level. Normals doesn't actually change the skill level. And to be honest, he got counterpicked. Well, not hard. No lane is really that good against Lux, in my opinion. But if you're going to have a lane that's close, it's going to be Ahri. Because Ahri, once they both hit level 6, Ahri's never going to get hit by a snare. Because she can just dodge it and then go really aggressive on Lux. So, it's not a hard lane for Lux, but if there is a hard lane, it would be the hard lane. She started Crystal Flask, Ward, Pot. I mean, it's alright. On Lux, you can start Doran's 2. You can start Fairy Charm, a lot of wards and some potions, or a lot of potions and some wards, or you can start the Crystal Flask. I really stopped doing the Crystal Flask a while ago. I used to love it, but then I started getting to the Fairy Charm build, and the reason I like the Fairy Charm build so much is because to succeed in the game, a Lux needs a Chalice of Harmony, which will eventually be built into Athene's Unholy Grail, because her mana costs are really high, and you gotta be spamming those spells if you want to be having an impact on the fights. So, Chalice of Harmony is obviously built from Fairy Charm. So, that's why I like starting with Fairy Charm, because then you can get that Chalice of Harmony sooner. But if you're against an AD lane, you don't really need a magic resist from Chalice of Harmony, and you might want to go double Dorans for your mana regeneration instead, and then get like Seekers. That's what I do. Alright, so here she's just CSing pretty well. She hasn't put her ward down yet. That's because at least probably, well, oh, I forgot to do this. I forget to do this a lot. She put her ward down there. I don't really like that ward. Well, no, actually that ward is good, because generally you, as an Elise, you get your blue, you get your red, and then you either gank one of these two lanes, generally this one. But Elise didn't do that, but we shouldn't know that. So that's actually a fine ward, because that's where he expects Elise to be coming from. But if he's gonna ward in that, he just missed. Yes, that's not good. If he's gonna ward there, he should stop walking so close to up here. Like, the ideal with a ward in one of these bushes is that you have equal vision on both sides of you. So you stand roughly here. So if they come from there, you'll see it because of the minions, and if they come from there, you'll see it because of the ward. You don't want to put a ward in one side and then stand in the middle, because they already saw you put the ward down. She's gonna tell Elise, and then Elise is gonna gank from up there. That was a good juke. And what did she? How was she leveling? She got all 3 skills at level 3. I personally like going E, Q, E, and then get your shield, and then max E first. But it's opinion. I will definitely get shield, but only when I feel like I'm either taking a lot of poke or I'm scared of the jungle. In just a normal lane where you're doing most of the poking, which is what's happening here, you want to get your E so you deal more damage. And the reason max E over Q is because E is a lot easier to hit, and it's more reliable damage. That was good. I mean, she has really decently high mana cost. Like, this is 85. If you don't use your E to just get one minion, unless it's the siege minion. Like, it's just not worth the mana. But if you can, and if you hit an E on an opponent, like, he could have E'd there. He had a chance to get 2 minions and poke, but instead he got 1. I'm surprised it didn't hit that minion. Whenever you poke with Lux, it's really important to get an auto attack off, because Lux is auto attack. Her passive, the way it works is whenever you hit an enemy with a spell, they get marked, and if you hit a marked target with an auto attack, then it deals extra magic damage. And it's a significant amount. It like doubles the damage from an auto attack. So whenever you land poke, it's really important to get off that auto attack. If you don't feel safe doing it, don't, but if you ever can, try and do that as much as possible. And even just normal auto attack harass when you haven't hit them with the spell is good on Lux. You generally don't want to go for those Qs, because there was a very, very large chance that she was gonna miss, because he wasn't near him at all. Did I see Elise? No. He wasn't near the Ahri at all, and there was just a very small chance that it was gonna hit. And then you're just wasting mana. That was a surprisingly good I don't think she's dead. Oh, if he had autoed her instead of the tower, she still would have lived. No, maybe. She maybe would have died. But that was a mistake nonetheless. He walked up and out of the tower. It was a good Q, but when the Lux's Q passes through someone, the snare duration is halved, so it's harder to get a kill than from a direct hit. But no, he's not gonna get the siege. Oh, he did. I'm surprised, but so much I can talk about Lux because I play her. She's my most played champion. You shouldn't really go back with this much mana. Just try and land an E on the Elise and get an auto attack off, because she can't really do much back, and you can get off some free damage. So now he goes back, he gets a Chalice, that's good. You need that Chalice. I mean, Chalice or Double Dorans. Double Dorans gets you more damage and more health, but some less durability. When the jungler and the mid are both magic damage oriented, then you're going to want to get that Chalice early. But when the jungler is like an AD, or if your mid is an AD, you're going to want those Dorans early. So here he's going back mid. I'm sorry if you're watching this, Lux, but you better be watching it. If I sound mean, it's just that every little thing with Lux, I find something to improve on. Even when I play, so don't feel bad. You should be getting that if his jungler's giving it to him. Yeah, okay, you have Chalice, so you don't really need it, but it's still very helpful. He doesn't want to be pushing, to be honest, because Lux has decent escape potential. She has a shield, which helps reduce some damage, and a snare, which can snare both the jungler and the mid if positioned correctly. And a slow, which you can put on the ground. But it's still difficult to live. Like, she has no escape like an Ahri ultimate or a LeBlanc ultimate. Ahri's maxing Foxfire. Is that what you're supposed to do? Don't know. I thought you maxed Q. I don't know though. She's got 2 wards up on both these bushes. That's good. Because now she can play pretty confidently, and especially with flash up. Like, that was a good blind dodge. He's got to be using his E poke, man. E poke. Go. Just use it. Just use it. Use your E. You can use the E range is so huge. It's really surprising. You can poke them from pretty much anywhere. Like, he can poke right here. It's really huge. And when you're full mana, why not just use your E? Because your lane's getting pushed. You want to stop the push anyway. And if you can get free poke while you're at it, just use your E. Like, he should be using that to poke, not for CS. Especially when he's going to miss the CS anyway. Shield, shield, shield. When you start tanking minions like this, just shield. Because instead of popping a health potion, Q both those minions. Yeah, he did it. Instead of using a health potion, he could have just used his shield, because he had enough mana that... I'm rambling. When you're tanking minions, you obviously don't want to bring them into the tower, because you don't want the tower to start hitting them and you don't want to miss any minions. But if you're low enough mana or decently low health, you don't want to tank the minions for an extended period of time, because then they could damage you significantly. So when you're very high mana and high health, you're going to want to bring them out from the tower, start auto attacking and Eing them down, and then just use your shield to absorb a lot of the minion damage, because he had plenty of mana to do it, and he still has a lot of mana. So whenever you start tanking minions, just use it. That was good. He got E poked down, and he pushed them away. He missed that minion. He could have gotten it, and then Q'd the melee. Using your Q, and you're supposed to max Q second, or I like doing it. Using your Q on minions isn't ideal. Like, you don't want to do it too often. Only when either you have good wards or you're about to go back, because it is a large part of your escape, your Q. So if you use it on minions all the time, what's I doing? Alright, that was interesting. See, he saw that at least, so he should be Q her. When you get ganked with Lux, a lot of times the junglers can't kill you, but they're walking up close enough that you can deal a decent amount of damage to them. He could have easily gotten off a QE combo and just damaged that. You can't gank an Ahri. If that Ahri was good, she would have ulted into tower and then taunted him the instant he landed, and then Q ignited him and got him the kill. It's very hard to kill an Ari with someone like this. No, you got... Okay, well, that was lucky. You also should try and shield your allies as much as possible. I didn't even notice the Alistar left lane. Drag? I don't think they should drag. They're winning, but not by like miles. And he also, he has to practice getting minions, getting last hits, because he's doing a decent amount, 78 at this stage. Yeah, good ult. Oh, no. I thought the purple team, I thought he was trying to ult all three of these. It was still a decent ult, but no, it was a fine ult. I was not watching it. That Q right there. Can she get a Q auto? Why did he stop chasing with his team? When your team starts... Oh, that E was actually being pretty smart. He was tanking it for his team as long as he could. That was good. Ooh, that rhymed. What a crime. You should have just stuck with his team. I don't know why he abandoned them. But when your team's chasing really deep like that, you should follow him. He could have got that minion, I think, with a Q. Or he already used his Q. CSing, you just get better at it as you keep playing Lux. He should have shielded there again. He's taken free minion poke damage when his shield's off cooldown. There's no reason to be doing that. That was pretty good. Now, yeah, he said Mia. It was late, but he said it. That's good. He has no wards, and it is an Ari, so he has to be a little bit careful, but not really, because it's assumed she went back. Alright, now he can be really ballsy. She's trying to get an E too. Alright, she's dead. No. When your lane person is gonna die, I make this mistake all the time. When the person is going to die in your lane, you should generally just stay mid and push your lane, because then this is gonna happen. E. Oh, he used his E so late. Ah, that was bad. He panicked on his Q and he just shot it out. 2, he didn't use his E when he had a direct hit on her. And then 3, he went up there to 1v2. Even if he had killed Ari, he would have died and the enemy team would have gotten more gold. He should have just stayed mid, gotten CS, because when your enemy mid lane goes to roam, they're not CSing mid. It's lagging, but nothing's happening, so it doesn't matter. And when they're not CSing mid, and you are CSing mid, that means you're getting a lead on them. So if he had just stayed mid and kept killing creeps, that means that the next time Ari comes back to lane, he'll have probably a level advantage, maybe not, and he'll have gold on her, because even though she ganked the lane, he'll have gotten so much minions on her. But when you go and try to help, like, I make this mistake a lot. When you're in mid lane and your enemy mid starts to roam, you have 2 choices. 1, the instant they start to roam, you have to start to roam, or 2, you have to just stay mid and push, because you can't try and roam a little bit later than them, because then you'll arrive after the full fight is done and you'll just not be mid getting minions doing nothing. So it's really important to try and either roam immediately or just don't at all. I had a feeling his red buff would get that kill. That was good. She's kind of tanky. What does she have? Oh, Ryless. Straight up. They're not gonna get this kill. Okay, well, Ari decided to stay and fight. They wouldn't have gotten the kill otherwise. If Ari just ran, I think Tryndamere could have saved her. With Elise coming, yeah, almost definitely.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Here she's just trying the CS. Oh god, go in on that. Oh, you didn't go in enough. You could have blown his ultimate there. If you had that ignite, she could have gotten the kill. When you land those Qs, you gotta go in. Like, don't like use your full combo and then miss the Q. I've done that. Every Lux has done that. It's embarrassing, but it happens. But your Q, even if you think it's gonna miss, like, alright, how do I put this? I don't want to say even if you think it's gonna miss, act like it's gonna hit, but it's kind of like that. Like, that Q was pretty... Okay. Well, That was embarrassing. Like, you're not gonna get the kill if you just ult like that. You have to know your damage and only ult if you're gonna get the kill. Because that Trinity was gonna go back anyway. So the not only ult when you're gonna get a kill, it's also good for just poking the enemy down. But if you're not gonna get the kill and the enemy's gonna go back anyways, what is that Ari? He didn't. It doesn't matter in this situation. But what you want to do is Q, then auto attack them, then Q, then auto attack them. No, wait. Q. You want to use your QE, but then before you detonate the E, you're gonna want to auto attack them, because that's gonna let you. Actually, you should have ran after. Good job. Because after you detonate that Q, you just hit them with your passive, and in order to maximize the damage dealt by Lux, you need to use your passive effectively. So what you're gonna want to do is QE, auto attack them while they have the Q mark on them, and then detonate your E. And then after you, if you're trying to do like the full combo, QE, auto attack, and then ult, right as your ultimate's about to hit, like while it's casting, you can detonate the E. And the reason you want to do that is your ult procs your passive and then replaces it. So you're losing damage from your ultimate if you don't use your passive. So you want to detonate your E, then right before your ult hit, it'll use the passive and refresh it, then get one more auto attack. And you should probably be able to do that all while they're snared. If they have merc trades, or if you can kill them anyways, you don't have to worry about the first auto attack. But if they don't, you really need that, because it does increase your damage by a lot. Boom. Dead. That was good. Clutch Q. Oh, she had her ultimate. That was not good. It was bad by Ari. I mean, it was a good Q, but Ari definitely... Ari is not that great. Because you should if you have your ultimate up, you should never be hit by a Lux skill shot that's gonna be lethal. Good. He doesn't have his ult now. I wouldn't have killed her. But it would have dealt damage and she would have had the back. When you take Wraiths with Lux, the way you take them is you use your E, you don't miss your Q on the Wraith. That's generally something to take a note. But the most efficient way to do it is use your E on all of them. Start walking into the pit, use your shield so they don't damage you that much. Then auto attack the big Wraith once, and then try and get into a position where you can Q them. It can be hard with all the small Wraiths, but even if it's the second part of the Q, obviously it's ideal if it's the first, but even the second part of the Q is fine, because it still applies your passive. Alright, I'll shut up, and then we can watch this. He shot his Q because he saw the person teleporting in, but it was late. You gotta know those teleport timers. That was a decent ult. If she hadn't flashed, it would have been fine, so that's actually a good ult. Here, where is she? There, she was kiting, helping out the AD carry. That's good. Late Q, but I think she played that fine. I'm not really sure. Anyway, as I was talking about the Wraith, you use your E, go in, auto attack the big one, using your shield to absorb damage. Then you try and Q the big one, apply your passive and attack him more. Then you just keep attacking, and then once your E's up, you detonate your E on all the Wraiths. It should kill all the small ones, and then it should either kill the big one, or get him low enough that your next pacified auto attack should kill him. Pacified. Loosen singularity, or is it E, right? Yeah. Something interesting. A singularity is something with a black hole. It's like a singularity is the thing that absorbs all light in the black hole. I think it has to do with a black hole, and it's called loosen singularity because instead of absorbing light, it actually creates it. That's something interesting for all you black hole junkies in the audience. Thank you, Alizar. Does he have his ultimate? Oh, I can't check that. That's cheating. Try and kill him. Dang it, try and kill him. You probably saw him ultimate earlier, man. Go for it. GG. Just oh, he missed his Q. So Ray, you played a pretty good Lux, but you definitely made mistakes. Take note of what I said. Don't be like, oh, I'm 418. I did well. This guy's stupid. I made 0 mistakes. You obviously are going to make mistakes even if you're 20 and 0. So pay attention to that, and also just gotta watch out for missed opportunities. If you hit a Q, you can almost always do something out of it unless you're running. So if you hit a Q, you should follow it up with an E or even an auto attack. Just don't hit a Q and then do nothing with it, because then there's no real point even shooting out the Q except for the damage. So, right, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed your tutoring, and I will see you all later.